That's a crabby right there. I got him a whole bunch of new shells. That big one is just a plastic shell. It's great for them to hide under and stuff. Uh, the fake plants back there and the gauge and stuff, that's already been in there. I got the I think that's grape wood right there. That's great for them to climb on. This is a skull here. It's great for them to climb on as well and hide in. They have it's kind of buried into the substrate. You can see, you know, this stuff is sitting really high on the top here. I got it's called some kind of shell or something. It's actually made out of plastic. If they roll it over or whatever, it'll be great for them to climb in and stuff. I got all these little shells here. I picked those up. They probably won't do anything with them, but they're great on the surface. Then you hear Big Daddy over here making a whole bunch of racket. I got them a bigger water bowl. That way he can actually submerge himself completely in there. I don't have to worry about him never having enough water for his shell. And those are actually stackable rocks. They're actually pretty heavy, so I had to make sure I had to clear the substrate out underneath because I wanted to make sure I could not only level it but lower it, but make sure nobody else was underneath it. So far I've counted 4 of them, and I only finished about not even 30 minutes ago, and they were all pretty much happy and roaming around and checking out all the new shells. These 2 are new. The one that's down in the water there, that's new. The one right next to him is new. I don't know what happened to all their other shells. They tend to got buried, but they got buried deep. That's one glow in the dark there. These are neon shells up over here. The bluish green ones are actually glow in the dark. That's a new shell right there. That's if Krabby doesn't freak out. This is the one that Krabby was actually checking out before. It's got a really nice opening to it. It's more roundish than D-shaped like these, and that's a great kind of opening in which Krabby tends to like. But it's going to be harder for me to find big shells like that. There was a little guy here all the way in the back. You can't really see him. He's actually hiding in down in here. He's actually hiding. You can see the shell with the yellow and blue. Yellow and red. You can see a shell right there, and you can see him start to move a little bit. So, and the 4th one is actually down. Where is he at? I think he went down in here too. Where did he go? The other guy's down in here. He's more of a darker color, which I tend to think he's a more female. Yeah, he's back in there. Can't really see through the glass. Let's see here. Still can't see through the glass. Yeah, he's back there. I got some moss back there. That's actually live moss. That's a climbing stick, the dark blue thing. So yeah, I pretty much spent about $150 on a whole bunch of new stuff, but it was starting to get time to that because stuff like a lot of the stuff that I have was great when they were smaller, but since they've been getting larger and been going with larger shells, it's becoming harder for them to find things to hide in. So I wanted to get something a little bit more climbing. This here has a hole, and I've had it in here for a while. Had it in here for such a long time that I didn't even realize until I started cleaning it off. There was a whole nest of roly-polies living where the substrate was building up around the fake plants and stuff. There was a whole nest of roly-polies, so that's great. That they really help with the mildew, and they're a great source of food for the hermit crabs. Um, Look, I still got some of the plastic tag on it. Um, but yeah, so they could hide into that, and as I dig out the substrate over time, as I pull it out and stuff, um, I tend to not replace it, so that allows more room later on. And right now, I want to give them plenty of stuff to climb in because not so much on the space for them to move around because they're going to start hibernating here in a little bit. I don't mean actual like hibernating like they go to sleep or anything, but because the house will start getting cooler, so they'll wind up digging down farther to stay warm, and because of that, they'll only come up for water and food. Um, but that is a really big bowl. But I was noticing I've been having a lot of issues with the humidity in here. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? That little roly-poly right there moving around. Oh, that's... Every time I see one in here, I know that there's more in here. So, but it makes me a little bit concerned when I don't see them for a while. I tend to wonder if they're still in here or if the crabs ate them all. But yeah, I was having problems with the humidity. I would actually spray the surface of the substrate, and within a day, it pretty much dries up pretty quick. And this stuff is actually pretty wet. I mean, you can see it's a little bit dry there, but this stuff is actually pretty wet. And I sprayed it down yesterday, and I sprayed it down again today. Hopefully, those are just shells. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I picked up another sea sponge. Hopefully that'll help with the humidity in here. Especially since I live in Tennessee, it hasn't been raining for a really long time, so we're kind of in a drought. And I tend to think that's why the humidity in here is having a hard time staying humid because of the dry air outside as well. And this here was actually just part of the climbing material, the climbing wall. But it's about a year old, so it's actually starting to break down and fall apart. So I just grabbed it from the back and just threw it up in the front. This here actually meets the surface here. I dug it down as far as I could go. They like to, especially recently, I've been finding one of them, they tend to hang out right here. And the other day, Krabby, I didn't even know he was on here, was chilling right here. And I went to open it, and I didn't know he was there, and I felt a tug. And I lifted it up, of course. And so I had to actually hang it like this and take him off and put him down before I could close it because there was no way that I could close it without him wanting to hang out on the outside of it. And there he is back there just chilling. He's one of the most active in here. I'd say the second active is this one here. You can't see him, of course. Let's see if I can. There he is back there. He's a pretty big guy. And so I guess that's pretty much it for now. This been in here for a long time. I'll just leave it in here for them to climb on and stuff. I'll eventually take it out. I'll probably, if a lot of these shells stay on the surface, I'll wind up taking them out weekly and cleaning them. But what happens is they wind up digging a lot, and whenever they dig, I had one of my smallest crabs actually. This is his original shell. Whenever I brought him home, and his claw would actually fit. Clean that thing out a little. His claw would actually fit at the opening of that. All his other legs would. Just tell by my fingers. I'm trying to clean out that opening a little bit. Oh, looks like my pizza's here. I gotta go. Maybe I'll broadcast later. I'll see you guys later.